Yet another really sunny day. So I'm guessing that's possibly why the car crashed. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Double Duck Garage. Today we're going to have a look at the VVC 160 again. I've been doing lots of work on this, so we've got lots to show you on this. We've got brakes, which we've been doing, we've got discs that we've sorted out, pads as well. We've got some improvements that we've made to the overall braking system, including the fluid and some other bits and pieces that we've done with the system. We've also got tyres. And then I think we've got something like key fobs and various other bits and pieces, all of which we've got to record and show to you right now. So without further ado, let's get to it. So these have just arrived. These are M-Tech brake discs for the MG. These are drilled and grooved. Yeah, drilled and grooved. Front ones are vented, rear ones are solid. This should help improve the braking in conjunction with some additional pads we're going to get. I think we're going to get the Mintex 1155s, the M1155s, which are effectively racing brakes, and a set of probably Brembos for the back, and then maybe fit a brake balance adjuster inside the engine bay as well. So I'm going to do that, open these up, have a look, see what these look like. They should be pretty cool. Oh, that's already done. Here then. Here's the rear ones. Oh, nice. Take them out. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, so they're looking pretty good. Nice. Handy. Covered in oil. Yeah, they're a bit different to the current ones. One rear one, two rear ones, and then on the VVC, oh, they are heavy. These are 304mm discs. Get this round the right way, and these will be vented hopefully. Okay, let's take that off there. Yeah, they are some big old discs. So yeah, should be able to get those put on, and then hopefully that will improve the braking significantly. Good stuff. I'm excited to get these put on the car. So I'm out by the car again, by the VVC. I'm going to have a look at these rear brakes. We've got those discs, so I'm going to have a look at this mess, because whilst it passed an MOT, these aren't much good at all. Pad's shattered, I think it's probably stuck on at this point. It's made a real mess of these. I'm going to try and get these sorted out. Get these calipers off. I've already duck oiled back here, so we should be able to get this looking good with those new discs. And then got new pads coming tomorrow for the back. We can swap the whole car around, jack up the front, and yeah, I think we'll do a brace on the front for the brake servo, and that should help with how the brakes feel. Flush all the brake lines, change the front discs, change the front pads, and then we'll see how the braking behaves. Barely even touched on the back, look at it. That's awful. Getting it. There we go. Yet another really sunny day, so much so I'm just squint, which is quite bad. I'm quite excited. I've got a whole load of stuff now ready to go. So we've got the discs that we saw there for the front, the rear ones are on already. We've got a new seal for the brake bleeding kit, so that will allow us to do the bleeding much better. We've got a set of Mintex 1155 race pads for the front, set of Brembo standard ones for the back. Got a brake bias, brake balancing valve on the way to put in the front of the car, underneath the bonnet. It needs to be there so it doesn't fail an MOT. If we have another one, you're not allowed to be able to adjust it once you're actually driving the vehicle. Got to do the back brakes, and then we've got at some point some braided brake lines should turn up. I need to get new race grade .4 that boils at a much higher temperature, 325 degrees, not 240, 260. It gives us a bit more scope for having good brakes under pressure. And what else is there? I've got more brake cleaner, make sure everything's nice and clean. And then there's a brake bracket turning up to hold the brake servo, which should make the feel of the brakes a lot better as well. So once this has been bled through, had all of this new gear put on it, handbrake adjusted, yeah, should be pretty good. Be very impressed with the brakes hopefully after that. There are an awful lot of videos about doing MGTF brakes. You can see here we've got most of this all sorted out now. It looks pretty good, but one thing you will need for the rear brakes is to use a brake wind back kit like this. The handbrake does kind of ratchet, so we need to wind that back, and it twists on a thread to be able to wind that back. So we'll do that, and yeah, get all these back together. These are the rear ones done. Looking pretty good. Much nicer on there. Now we'll be able to get on and do these. So these are MG branded AP Racing 4-pot calipers, and these 304mm discs. I'll get those off and get them changed, get those new pads put on, and then hopefully we should have much better brakes. So I was just doing some reading, and looks like if you've got ABS 5.3, Bosch 5.3 ABS, and they actually have a built-in proportioning valve, which means that we don't actually need a manually adjustable proportioning valve. So I need to check this out because this is a 2002. I think the F's had Bosch 5.0 in some cases. I need to have a look and see what was fitted to what. But I'm going to have a look at this one, see if it's 5.3. If it is, then the proportioning valve's not required. It should automatically proportion with the system itself, apply more force to the back if it feels like the front's slipping. So that should be pretty handy, so we can use the logic in the ABS to control the brake proportioning. So if we get all these things set up properly, the car should kind of look after itself. If at any point we do want to turn off the ABS, remove the fuse and use it on the track like that, then there is a possibility that we can then add a manual proportioning valve in so we can control it. So it'll still be useful, and if not, it's something that maybe Scotty can use, or we can use if we ever get around to the 1.6 and fixing that up. I'm going to fit this brake brace now. This stops the brake servo from moving around quite as much when you actually push the brake on the car really hard. It's a known issue with the MG Fs and TFs that there's quite a bit of flex in there. Let me show you where that actually sits. So on here, I've actually got this older style airbox on here, which is a bit of a mess, so we need to take that off. We'll actually replace that with the newer version, which is just a snorkel that comes up. The brace actually fits underneath this onto the lip that sits underneath here, and then it mounts onto the actual brake servo bracket itself, which is behind here. So we get that fitted on. You can also see over here that this bracket is here. It does actually flex quite a bit on the front wall here of the car in the fruit. So it actually sits across between those two and holds this and stops it from moving backwards and forwards. most of these screws out. There's one under there, there's two in the cab that you take out from behind the glove box, and there's one under here, just underneath that bit. We can't really easily get to it from anywhere there. I think what we're going to have to do is go from underneath the car, see if we can come up through the gap just about there. Let's see if we can get to that underneath the car. This is already loose, it's starting to come off. It's only held on by that there. Let's see if we can get that off. I'm actually going to see if I can get to it from here. Might actually be able to. Got it on, but the ratchet's flipped around the opposite way, so now it's going to go. That was a mission. I'm absolutely shattered now. It's got me out of breath and everything. Just wielding a knife and a saw. That has got this out though. The idea is to cut the front off, and then you can rotate it out. So now we've got everything how it should be. As you see, straight into the cab, into the cabin of the car. Straight through there. You can see where the screws came through originally, one there, one there, one there, and one there. So the new bit sits over the top, but in the meantime we need to put the brace across there and attach it to the brake there. Lots of bits for fixing this on. 3 bolts I think to put, with the 3 that go along there with the various washers, and then these other ones that fit onto the actual brace itself that goes onto the servo, and of course a bunch of washers to fit across there to hold them on as well. I believe that just fits in there like that. Yeah. That bolt and that bolt go through this hole, and these 3 line up with the 3 that are on there. $13mm then onto there. So this is really going to be a test fit, because the new snorkel needs to go over this piece to protect the cabin from getting water in it. I've put some sealant around there, but I'm just want to test fit this. We can cover it up, and then when the snorkel arrives we can fit that underneath this bracket. There we go, one bracket in place. So we've got some replacement bolts to go in here. To there. That side. One on the other side. And then lots of fiddling about putting bolts in this side, I believe. That's got the brake brace fitted. As I said, we're still missing the funnel that needs to arrive, but once we've got that, we can pop this back off again and get everything sealed in. You can see it's made a massive difference. There's still a little bit of flex in it. I don't think it's ever going to be quite perfect, but it's definitely far better than it was. the brake pedal now, rather than continuing to go down and feeling like there's a load of sponginess in it, is quite solid. This little bit of flex that's still left in here, you don't really feel it through the pedal too much, whereas before you could feel the pedal continuing to go down as the bulkhead and the servo were moving around. So I think that'll make a massive improvement to the braking. Have a look now, see if we can get some of these brake lines done and get some of the new brake fluid in. HEL Performance brake line kit. Get those removed. They're just a bit nasty. They look alright, I mean they're in good shape. It'd be good to get them off, get that changed up. First rear one done. And the last rear one. They're all done. It's all bled up. So that's pretty much it for the brakes. Got a clutch master cylinder rebuild kit to do now. Just put in RBF 660, which is a dry boiling point of 325 degrees, which is significantly higher. It's about 70 degrees higher than your standard .4 brake fluid. I'm going to get these wheels back on, then I'll look at disconnecting the clutch master cylinder. We'll get the rebuild kit on the cylinder itself, see if we can make this clutch a bit better. Got some new wheels for the MG as well, some extra bits and pieces. We've got 4 of these 11 spoke MG 16-inch wheels. They've got some pretty dodgy tyres on them. One of them is from 2019, but 3 of them, one is from 2010, one is from 2011 and one is from 2012, which makes them pretty dodgy. One of them's bald on one side, on the inside of the wheel, so I'm guessing that's possibly why the car crashed, that they came off. So we're going to get these, we're going to clean them up, and then we'll put on some brand new tyres that I'll show you in a bit. I said we got some new tyres. These are those tyres. These are Nankang NS2Rs. These are a 205 45 16. They're 6¼ millimeters higher sidewall, so not a huge amount. But what you found is that with these, we couldn't actually get a 215, which is the tyre that needs to go on both front and back on this car. So we've gone for the 205s. On the less higher powered MGs, the MGTFs, they have a 195 on the front and a 215 on the back, but with the VVC the recommendation was 215 on both ends. So we've compromised ever so slightly. The 215 40s, Nankang don't actually make this tyre in that particular size, so we couldn't get that one, so we've gone for the very next smallest size down, and we've kept them the same size front and back, so that means we can swap them backwards and forwards. And hopefully going forward, what this means is with the set of wheels we've got on the car and the set of wheels that I've just bought, we've just cleaned up, we'll be able to put different tyres on and swap them between all of the MGs, because the 16-inch wheels fit on the VVC and all of the other ones, and that way we can start having a more standardised set of tyres. We can see what these are like in terms of their difference between the 215s and the 205s, and we can go from there. So we're going to get these mounted at the tyre fitting place, and we'll have a look and see what they look like once they're done. Tyres all ready to go on the car. Big thanks to Formula 1. Just got a key fob to sort out now.